Good day, and welcome to the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas. Thank you so much for joining with me so I can share my astrology with you all. The weather here in Houston has just been fabulous, and since it's been cooler and our hot temperatures have been delayed, it's been so much nicer in the mornings. It's so cool. Even though up north, it's been a lot colder than normal. And I'm sure by this time we're all responding to the cardinal cosmic cross in the sky with the planets Jupiter, Uranus, Pluto, and Mars. Things have been very intense and intensifying as we really begin to amplify things for the next 2 weeks. This week, the 14th, 15th, and 16th are probably the most intense of the days of the cosmic cross, and apparently my cat thinks so too. There's a lot to talk about this week, so let's get to the daily forecast. Sunday, April 13th, Happy Palm Sunday. The moon starts the day, void of course in Virgo. However, the moon quickly enters design-oriented Libra at 3:33 a.m. There are no exact planetary aspects for the entire day, although the moon is not void of course. It's a good day to rest and retreat and really get ready for Monday. Monday, April 14th, Happy Pan American Day. The moon is in relationship-oriented Libra for the entire day. This is going to be an intense and powerful day. Get ready. And it starts early. The moon opposes Mercury 2:01 a.m. This is a very mentally active transit, and it may keep you awake. And it may wake you up from earlier than you would like to be awakened. It's always a good time for organizing, including organizing your own thoughts, if you're awake at 2:01 a.m. The moon squares Jupiter 3:37 a.m. This is the beginning of the cardinal cross activity in the sky. This event will be occurring all day and throughout tomorrow and the following day. If you're awake during this transit, you're thinking about expanding your territory and your commitments. Don't overcommit yourself today. It will be easy. Later in the morning, the moon opposes Uranus at 4:20 a.m. If you're not awake by now, you're certainly ready to get up. This can make us feel edgy, out of sorts, and potentially overreactive to situations that we encounter very early this morning. Make sure you have several exit strategies planned. The moon squares Pluto at 5:08 a.m. Now is the time to dump our emotional garbage this morning. You'll find this is a great time for cleanup internally and externally. The energy of this transit can make relationships very edgy as well. The moon conjuncts Mars at 11 a.m. This energy certainly brings our feelings to the surface. It can make us feel very assertive, or it can make us feel aggressive and defensive. Focus this energy on starting a new task, working out at the gym, or doing exactly what you want to do, which is really a big Mars thing. Later in the afternoon, Mercury squares Jupiter, 1:32 p.m. This transit adds more intensity to the ongoing cardinal cosmic cross. With Jupiter involved, we're expanding our view of the world. We feel more connected to the day-to-day existence of other people on the planet. Personally, this can be a day of lots of communications and trying to get too many things done in one day. Slow down and take your time. This aspect is in effect all day. Much later in the afternoon, Mercury conjuncts Uranus, again part of this cosmic cross, at 6:15 p.m. Our electrical systems are turned up to the maximum. The energy of this transit is especially good for rapid decision making, and it enhances your intuitive intelligence. This is likely to make us feel very unsettled today. We are not going to be patient with people trying to convince us of stuff we don't believe. Keep your options open so that you feel comfortable with any decisions that you make. This aspect is also in effect all day. And I want to add it may really affect our computers and some of our internet. It may create some problems there. Pluto goes stationary retrograde in Capricorn at 6:44 p.m. This will make us work harder and delve deeper into clearing out the parts of our lives that no longer serve us. This will be in effect till September. Mercury, that's a long time, isn't it? Mercury squares Pluto 11:12 p.m. We are detectives on the hunt. Nothing escapes our notice, no matter how subtle the detail. This can be a very good time to clean up your financial debt or to just get that part of your life more organized. We're trying to get rid of the things in our life that control us. This is a good time for any type of detail work or research that you might need to do. Tuesday, April 15th. Happy Tax Day. If we can be happy on Tax Day. The moon begins the day in strategy-oriented Libra and spends about half the day there. The moon opposes the sun at 2:42 a.m. This full moon at 25 degrees Libra is our lunar eclipse. Our relationships and partnerships are really being put to the test. And this will test our international relationships as well. The good news here is that this energy does bring light to a situation and allows for compromise. However, for others, this light may show just a hopeless path, and they will choose to go their separate ways. We are still reeling from yesterday. The moon is now void of course from 2:42 a.m. until 11:20 a.m. when the moon enters resilient Scorpio. Our afternoon is now looking better for planned activities. Later in the day, the moon trines Neptune at 11:39 p.m. This is the only lunar aspect for the rest of the day, and it occurs in the late evening. Slow and steady shows the way. We'll want to be in a warm, comfortable spot when this time arrives. Wednesday, April the 16th, the moon continues her journey through the watery and deeply emotional sign of Scorpio. Mercury opposes Mars at 6:15 a.m. This is the perfect morning to be up early and planning out your agenda for the day. The energy of this transit is certainly to make us all feel edgy, and it holds the potential to cause some anger and can cause some to experience road rage, particularly in the morning. If you need to defend yourself, this is the day to do it. This is a great day for making presentations and showing people what you're made of. This aspect is in effect all day. The moon trines Venus at 8:08 a.m. Finally, we're beginning to see some softening in our edgy morning. We are feeling very self-focused at this time, and we want to make certain that our desires are taken care of. This is a good time for apologies. It's also a favorable time to heal problems from the past and a favorable time to heal our relationships. A little bit later in the morning, the moon trines Jupiter at 10:47 a.m. This aspect also helps to ease some of the tensions of the day. It's a great time to be visiting with your clients or enjoying some espresso with your pals. Just a little bit later in the morning, the moon sextiles Pluto, 11:45 a.m. We are in a business mode, and we're getting things done this late morning. This would be a good time to have lunch with clientele or to spend time with people that are helping you plan your future. Thursday, April 17th, the moon starts the day in Scorpio, the sign of the bookkeeper, and resides there for 3/4 of the day. The moon conjuncts Saturn at 2:09 a.m. This can be a time when we are overthinking all the worst possibilities that we can imagine. As long as you balance this with focusing on your own positive desires, the outcome can be good. and this aspect can work for you. But really, let's hope we just sleep through this one. The moon is now void of course in Scorpio at 2:09 a.m., and it remains void of course for most of the day. Keep your plans and expectations realistic. Plan meetings and events after the moon has entered exuberant Sagittarius at 4:44 p.m. After that, our mood is considerably more upbeat. Later in the evening, a really great aspect, Venus trines Jupiter at 8:19 p.m. Love is in the air, and most everyone we meet is a friend. Our emotional nature is very strong during this time, and we're most likely to respond based on how we feel rather than on how we think. You will find this is an excellent time to discuss long-term plans for romance, financial investments, or both. What's most important to us this time is our creature comforts. This aspect, Venus trine Jupiter, is in effect all day. Friday, April the 18th, Happy Good Friday. The moon transits friendly Sagittarius all day. We start our morning with Venus sextiles Pluto at 4:24 a.m. If you're asleep during this time, this transit will produce a fairly active dream life. If you're awake, you are interested in the intricacies that add trust and intimacy to your relationships. It's a great day for any type of negotiations or partnership agreements. This aspect is in effect all day. Another early morning transit, the moon squares Neptune at 4:42 a.m. This aspect is best appreciated when you're asleep. Otherwise, this is a great morning for morning meditation. The moon trines Uranus at 4 p.m. and much later in the afternoon. We're feeling much more active this afternoon, and we're looking for something to keep us interested. In business, this can be a very good time to invest in your local community or to expand your circle of friends. The moon squares Venus at 5:19 p.m. We're ready for a break from our routine, and we're looking for something to help us escape. This is a very self-oriented time and not always indicative of a good time for sharing. Early in the evening, the moon sextiles Mars at 6:59 p.m. We're feeling reactivated this evening, and we're ready to do something that's fun and outside of our normal routine. Think of using this energy as a great time for a walk, a workout at the gym, or just some adventure. Saturday, April 19th, the moon starts the day in happy-go-lucky Sagittarius and resides there for almost the entire day. The moon trines Mercury at 6:48 a.m. This is a good morning to get things in order. Plan out your day or meet with friends for an early morning coffee. It's a great time for conversation. The moon trines the sun at 8:17 p.m. Kind of a big gap there between our first aspect at 6:48 a.m. and our last, or not our last aspect, but our next aspect at 8:17 p.m. The energy of this transit is really a great time for almost any kind of activity. If you are working, people are more receptive to your ideas. If you're out having dinner with friends, this just enhances the evening. The moon is now void, of course, from 8:17 p.m. until 8:28 p.m. It's a very short void, of course, moon period. The moon does enter disciplined Capricorn at 8:28 p.m. We're now more focused on the best use of our resources. And later in the evening, the sun enters Taurus at 10:56 p.m. For the next 30 days, our focus will be on creating greater stability and consistency in our own lives. I want to thank you for joining me this day so I can share my thoughts about the ongoing cardinal cosmic cross. Hang in there. This is a rough time, and there's going to be some very intense times that we're living through, but we're going to live through them. So this is the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas. And please join us next week as we look at April 20th through April 26th. And please take some time to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And remember to keep those stars in your eyes Bye-bye. See you next week.